So, welcome back. Today we are continuing and ending the chapter with total internal reflection in prisms. In prisms. Okay, so nothing else to say. Let's start. So, in prisms, what we are going to do first is that these prisms, what they do, you knew that you put some light through it. Not from here. Let's say I'm putting some light here. You get reflected like this and go like this. Okay, this is what you know. But now there are some applications to this prism as well. Prism. This is a prism. Okay. So first we'll take a special prism. Okay, special prism. No, not special prism. Let me just tell you what it does. Now, using total internal reflection, if there is a prism, we can do what in many machines they require. What is they may require to like light ray is going there, some machinery has to be here, then the light ray will be going here. Understand? Then maybe the light ray is going like this, some machineries will be here, then the light ray will come back to its original part 180 degree. Understand? Or if there is some machinery is there where light ray will go and leave at a 60 degree angle. So such machinery and such a machinery can be achieved using just prisms. Okay, so how you would say? First, let's talk about a special case, that two special cases. Yes, that is, first is 90 degree reversal. How to do that? Meaning the light ray will go some machinery, then it will go out like this. So let's draw the prism. In this experiment, these are all experiments. Okay, these experiments we'll use nothing but the angles are 45, angle here also is 45, and here also is 90. Understand? Now how to reverse it? You would say that's how you will say. This is obviously made of glass, so when you like any light ray that will go like this, that is actually to be saying that strikes the surfaces of 90 degrees. Any light ray passing from one side, that is 90 degrees, and if I draw the normal here, let's say like this. One second, let me redraw this. Yes, let's say this is the normal. So the light ray will undergo total internal reflection. If that is 90, this is 90, then this is nothing but 45. Understand? So this angle will be what? 90 minus 45, then this also is 45. And now if it goes under total internal reflection, let's say like this, so this angle will also become, one second, this angle will also become 45. So 45 plus 45 is how much? 90 degrees. So this light ray has actually deviated 90 degrees. So this is my machinery. So if ever they ask you how to do a 90 degree reversal, just explain this in words. Okay, now let's talk about nothing but 180 degree reversal. 180 degree reversal. Okay, how to do a 180 degree reversal? So first you have to take, obviously again this prism only will take, but in a different manner. First let me tell you the machinery. If this is the machinery, it will go one just back. So if now the prism will hold it like this, same prism. Let me write this 45 9 1 second 90, doesn't look like 90, but believe it, it's 90. So now if a light ray were to enter, again 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, so this would become 45 again. It would go total internal reflection here also. Okay, so this will get deviated by 90 degrees. Remember why? Because I am not drawing it again. If you draw this will become 45 and this will get 45. So 90. Okay, that will be 90. Now when it strikes, it will go in total internal reflection. Understand? So now let's see, if this is 45, this is 90, so this will become 45. That is 90, so this will become 45. So again, if we draw a normal like this angle will become 45 and this angle will become 45. So it is deviated through a 90-degree angle. So if, let's say, if a line is like this, then it is rotated 90 degrees, then again it is rotated 180 degrees. So doesn't the direction change? So the light ray went like this and got a 180-degree reversal here. 180-degree reversal. Understand this concept? Understand, this is actually diagrammatic concept. Okay, now they can also ask you, now there's a last special case, is that image reversal. Image reversal. What is image reversal? You would say, let's say there is, I put a like this arrow. After some machinery, obviously light will go through this. After some machinery, what we will get is nothing but the inverted image of that. Inverted image of this. This is the machinery. We have to find out how. So we'll again use a prism here. Let's say this time we'll use a prism like this. 1 second. How can I draw this? 1, 2, yes, done. We'll try my best to draw. This is 90-degree again. For now we are taking 90-degree angles. We'll do something more complex later. Then 45 again. Then let's say my image is nothing but this. Sorry, the object is nothing but this. This is my object. I have drawn the object. Now let's do the light rays. We'll do obviously the light rays, one from the top, one from the bottom. Okay, so we'll do one from the top. When it hits, it will go down. What happens in this case? It goes down. Once again, it goes down. So it goes down and suffers total internal reflection. Okay, then when it goes, it again undergoes refraction like this. Why it is parallel to this 180 degrees? This is 45. This is 90. This will be 90. How do I know? That's experimental. These are experimental things. Now we take the light ray from here. Same thing will occur. Such a beautiful diagram, no? So this light ray passes like this, this light ray passes like this, this light ray passes like this. This is my complete diagram. Now if you see this point, I'll now plot the points once again. This point and this point. Okay, so this point went here. Okay, I will change this once again. This point went here and this point went here. So my diagram now becomes nothing but this. This is looking a little bit smaller, but when you do it in the using a scale, it will be the same size only. So this is how to reverse image. This is the thing used in projectors. Okay, these are used in projectors, and that one, this 90-degree reversal are used in periscopes, like submarine periscopes, in those things. Okay, and this 180-degree thing is used in binoculars, you know, the bird watching binoculars, those. And this image reversal is used in slide projectors. Like, what are slide projectors? Like, when you show anything, it will always show the mirror image in the slide projection. Okay, that's why. So now some special cases again we'll take. Some cases when what happens when there is a 30-degree prism. Meaning what? So what I will do here, I'll redraw a diagram first, because I can't draw diagrams. So first, let's say this is my 60-degree and this is 30-degree. So this will be nothing but 90-degree. Now what happens when light enters it? Like this. First it will go undeviated, obviously. So it will strike here. Then it will go on total internal reflection. Then it will get refracted outwards like this. Some diagram will be there. So if this is 60, let's draw this. If that is 60, so actually what happens is that you know this angle will also be 60 and this angle will be 30 degrees. This is the diagram for a 60-30 angle diagram. And now if there is, let's say, these are not really important, they just ask you on the diagram and leave you. So I'm just drawing the diagrams. You can just see this, how to draw them. I'm not labeling this one. Now let's say 60 again, 30 here again, 90 here again. So here what we'll do, light enters like this, goes straight. Once again, why isn't it deleting? Yes, like this, and then nothing else. This angle is nothing but 30. Nothing else. Just draw this diagram. Nothing else comes from this part. Now if there is, let's say, a 60 prism, meaning the normal prisms we get in the laboratories, okay, means the equilateral prisms, what will happen? First obviously I have ray, that is the nothing but this type of ray. Then it will go and get a total internal reflection here and go straight down. So every angle here is 60, by the way, mind it, 60, okay. So this actually, when a total internal reflection occurs in this case, this angle becomes 60, this angle is 60, okay, and this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, this is for an equiangular prism. Okay, now many people have a question, is that what is the difference between a total internal reflection from a prism or reflection in normal reflection? So I'll show you the differences now. So here I have made a chart. As you can see, this is nothing but a chart of the differences. So first difference is that the total internal reflection occurs when a ray of light strikes the prism face at an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle of flare. Reflection occurs for all angles of incidence. This occurs for all. Let me use a black color here. No, better. No? This occurs for all eyes, and this occurs for only when I is greater than C. Real image is formed in this case. Obviously you can see the real image is formed, and here virtual image is formed. Important point, almost 100%, meaning that incident light gets reflected back into the denser medium, and 60 to 80% depending on the quality of the mirror. So this thing 100% reflection you get, but in this thing you get 60 to 80% depending on the quality of the mirror, meaning that good quality means good, has the maker build it well or not, like that. It depends. Image formed is less bright, image formed is much brighter because it's a better quality thing. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about 2-3 applications of total internal reflection. The first thing is that in like Hindi everybody tells that Hira chamakta hai means diamonds sparkle or diamonds actually shine. That's wrong. Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, this is my best attempt at drawing a diamond. So what this diamond does is that it has a very high refractive index, 2.4. So what happens is that when there is a light ray, it enters, it just bounces around in the diamond, bounces around. So it looks like it is emanating light from all directions. It bounces so much it looks like the light is coming out of the diamond. That's not true. For the diamond to sparkle, you need light. Next one is that mirages. So what happens is that if you see ever in a, there's not even desert, like nowadays in anywhere India also will get to see this mirages. So let's say if there is one tree here. One second, let me draw the diagram first. Okay, let's say this is a diagram. There's a tree here and that is me. just standing out of nowhere. So what happens is that in atmosphere the air is divided into small particles, means small layers. Like if this part is warm, this will be hot, and this part will be very hot, like this. Okay, so what happens is that on such a day it's very sunny. Let's say it's very sunny. So what happens is that when the light from this part, okay, let's say I will draw this in a better way. One second, wait for me. This color, so I'll draw like this. I'll draw a solid line now. Okay, so the light from the top part falls here. Since hotter part is obviously less dense, it will get refracted like this, okay. Understand. No, I'm wrong, because it gets refracted here, but somewhere in the refraction, okay, sometimes in middle of the refraction it stops, because again the light can't go inside there. Why? Total internal reflection. Wow. So what happens is that obviously till the critical angle is less, it will go. Let's say at this point the critical angle it reaches, so it will go total internal reflection. I can see it, okay, here. So actually what happens is that then what I will see, I can't draw below that, no, leave it. Let me just go here. Okay, yes, I can draw below that. What I will see is here, the trees backwards, trees in the ground. I'll see trees in the ground. Once again, move a little bit here. Yes, I'll see that the trees in the ground, or many places. As you can see, what happens is that you can I live in Kolkata. Actually, in Kolkata, if you ever go to the New Town region, okay, you can see what happens is that not in New region. If you go to any place that has long roads, like long straight roads, you can see that in the summers, the cloud, we can see the image of the cloud on the ground, and that looks like actually there is water on the ground. If you can see, I have seen it a lot of times. If in the summer you can't get out now, please stay at home, but in the future when you get out in the summer, please see that. That's really good to see actually. So I'll move on. This is one thing. Now what happens is that in a very cold region, okay, in a very cold region, what happens is that a looming is called. Looming is formed. What is looming? What happens is that if there is a person here, let's say here, okay, and there is one thing called a, let's say there is a what can I draw here? Let's say there's a car here. Car. I can't draw actually, okay. I'm drawing as fast. There's a car here, okay. Now what happens is that when the person sees from far the car, he can see that the car is actually not here. The car is actually floating in the air. How will I draw a car? One second. The car is actually nothing but floating in the air. I can't draw. The car is actually floating in the air. Why does it happen? Because in colder regions the cold air is below us. So what happens is that when the light rays from this come, obviously it will get rare. It will go from a denser region to rarer to denser to rarer. At one time total internal reflection it will come towards me, and what I will see is here, car is here. Wow, it is floating. No, it's not floating, okay. And one very modern approach to the thing is called optical fibers. Internet happens because of that only. There is actually a wire. What happens is that light, information is passed in the form of electronic signals, and that signals are converted into light, and the light goes under total internal reflection through the wire and travels even faster. So information can travel even faster. So optical fibers are actually the internet thing that connects the runs through the Atlantic. It connects the Americas to the Europe. It's a fun fact you can know, optical fibers. So with this I end the chapter. We'll start with lenses next day. So bye. and nothing else to say. And like, share and subscribe, and keep spreading the content.